Hello and welcome to our PBLC for the AEDT 4130U Social Justice Issues in Adult Education course. This presentation has been created by Brandon Carson, Nicole Gilkes, Lorianne Hallahan, and Lisa McInerney. For our PBLC, we are going to offer social justice solutions in the following categories: media, schools, community, and the workplace. The media plays a critical role in social justice as the media has the ability to influence our decisions, thoughts, and opinions, sometimes without us even knowing it. Combine repeated exposure to messaging and the use and misuse of experts with an audience base of millions of people, and you have what could be a recipe for disaster, which is why the Canadian Broadcasting Standards Council exists, to administer standards established by its membership. In order for the media to support social justice, it is important to uphold the standards and codes that the CBSC has put into place to ensure accurate information is reported, audiences are given diversity, quality information, and to portray honesty, unbiased reflections of social issues while presenting both sides. K-12 and post-secondary institutions have a responsibility to provide fairness, equity, and to respect all human rights. Curriculum should be updated to allow a more diverse perspective of different views, and we should be celebrating and teaching students of holidays and significant events that impact individuals. This will allow learners to grow and to acquire new knowledge about cultures they may not have known about before. A lot of different approaches can be used to bring different cultures into the classroom, such as school visits and speeches, training camps, student speaking engagements, student leadership and mentoring opportunities, and youth-led campaigns. Additionally, hiring practices should be put in place to ensure that a diverse workforce is being built at each institution. Equity and equality are important, and seeing diversity in teaching and administrative roles will allow students to see that people from all backgrounds are able to achieve academic success. The Ontario government has recently implemented a Better Way Forward, Ontario's 3-year anti-racism strategy plan that focuses on policies and programs and community services to best support and serve everyone in the community. With this focused commitment to community, there are numerous programs and plans that will identify and support an increase in social awareness and support all community members. To increase social justice awareness, public libraries can offer a variety of programs specific to support this educational awareness. Some programming ideas are author visits, fiction and nonfiction who write on social justice issues, share personal experiences, adult and teen workshops, book clubs, and open mic events on topics such as human trafficking, homelessness, racism, etc. Public libraries also ensure all library materials are purchased without restriction or banning various topics. This provides an opportunity to people of all ages to learn about the various social injustices that occur. It is through this awareness and education that learning opportunities exist outside of an educational institution or home environment. Recreation centers support and serve the community through the various services and supports they provide. Programs offered should focus on supporting the needs of all of its community users. They need to ensure that everyone has access to the recreational activities available, and it provides an all-inclusive environment. Some possible programs or supports are barrier-free recreational activities and facilities, inclusion of all community members in programming, summer camps through one-on-one support for children, youth, or adults as needed, and subsidy based on individual or family. Support for elderly, outreach program and drop-in programs, youth after-school and drop-in activities, programs focused on inclusion, cultural awareness, recreation pass membership fee geared towards individual and family, specific workshop depending on community needs, requests, for example, parent workshops, community groups for newcomers, language courses, etc. And finally, specific programming and activities promoting an awareness of various cultures, injustices, racism, discrimination, etc. Community events should be used to increase awareness of the various cultures, races, genders, and underprivileged. A day or weekend event would provide an opportunity for community members to increase their understanding of the various cultures or identities of community members. Some of these events may include Culture Days, Pride Week, Aboriginal Powwow, and more. These events would help to break down the barriers and oppressions many often face in their own community. Flag raisings are another way to formally recognize and acknowledge various community groups or individuals that inform them that as a community member, regardless of age, race, gender, culture, identity, sexual identity, etc., they are valued and accepted in their own community. No matter the industry, for social justice to take place in the workplace, both the employer and the employees need to adhere to laws and regulations. This would pertain to things like the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, including things like the Human Rights Act, labor laws, including things like the Employment Equity Act, privacy and confidentiality laws, and rules around diversity, inclusion, and accessibility. Certain policies and processes can be developed and enforced in the workplace to ensure both employer and employee rights are being valued. There is also a need for both employer and employee to be adaptable to changing policies and legislation, for example, elections, new bills, new standards, etc., as well as the openness and respect to all identities and demographics in the workplace. Throughout this course, we have learned that awareness is the key to change. It would be advisable that employers offer opportunities or supports for employees to engage in self-reflection, which will lead to greater social justice and inclusion in the workplace. This leads nicely into our next point on advocacy and empowerment. There is also a need for the employee to advocate for themselves and for the employer to advocate for their staff. The employer can do this by offering personal development opportunities, offering educational workshops, which can be aimed at improving social justice and diversity, and being supportive of collective bargaining employee unions. Thank you very much for watching our presentation, and please review the following references.